Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Elise. Today we're diving into the latest movie, TV news. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing podcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, check out poddex.com and use code CinemaGold for 10% off your first order. And now let's get on to our first main topic. The anime Demon Slayer has taken the top spot away from Godzilla. Demon Slayer should never be underestimated, and the anime is reminding fans of that this week. Following the US premiere, the series has waited to get revenge on Mortal Kombat after the Warner Brothers Pictures flick just beat its opening box office. Now the numbers are in for week 2, and it seems Mortal Kombat has come out on top this time around. According to Variety, the victory goes to Demon Slayer. The movie earned a solid $6.4 million US, while Mortal Kombat came away with $6.2 million. Their week-over-week totals dropped quite a bit from their late April premieres. In fact, both films are down about 70% at the box office, so that's a little rough. Clearly, Demon Slayer put up a good fight, and that is just what, apologize, can't say his name right, Tanjiro would want. Mortal Kombat tried to get a finisher in last week, but the anime hero stayed the course. Now it's number 1 at the US box office, and the Demon Slayer total makes it the third highest grossing anime film domestically to date at $32 million. The record previously belonged to Dragon Ball Super, the latest film to debut under Goku's careful watch. As for how these numbers stack up to pre-pandemic standards, well, we're not there yet. The movies both slipped down 70% with their weekly gross. This is kind of far from ideal during a traditional period, but it's fine in terms of the pandemic. Still, the lagging return doesn't bode well for some of this year's most hopeful hits, including Black Widow, F9, A Quiet Place Part 2. It would be easy for these films to get 100 million under normal circumstances. And while vaccination efforts are ramping up in America, our new normal hasn't quite come into fruition just yet. Still, there's hope for the future. Godzilla vs. Kong has done very well following its global debut. The movie grossed $415 million to date globally. This figure was bolstered in a big way by foreign markets, but its domestic gross is now over $90 million at this point. Movies like this are giving Hollywood hope for what's to come. So now, we're keeping our fingers crossed. What do you make of this week 2 victory? Have you checked out Demon Slayer just yet? Let us know what you thought on the movie. Send us a tweet at Cinema Gold Show, or you can leave a comment on our Instagram at The Cinema Gold Show, or on Facebook, just look up The Cinema Gold Show. And now, our second main topic, Marvel has dropped some massive movie news. Marvel's looking to get people back into theaters following the pandemic by unveiling its highly anticipated upcoming slate of movies through 2023. On Monday, Marvel Entertainment debuted a new teaser trailer for the next installment in what it's been dubbed the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which makes up the roster of heroes and characters in the Avengers world. In addition to revealing release dates for titles such as Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the video also offers a first look at the highly anticipated film Eternals. The video begins on a note of nostalgia by showing a sizzle reel of some of the most fan-beloved moments throughout the franchise, including the climactic battle in the 2019 film Avengers Endgame, while the clips play and narration from the late Marvel comic giant Stan Lee discusses the concept of family plays in the background. After that, footage from both Eternals And the recently debuted trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings appears in order to get viewers hyped for new heroes joining the universe. Eternals was first teased in 2018, but its release, like many others, was delayed by the pandemic. Now, in addition to the hype that was already at its back, Eternals can boast having now Oscar-winning director Chloe Zhao, fresh off her Best Director win for Nomadland, at the helm. The video then reveals title cards for upcoming movies, starting with Black Widow in July and going all the way to Guardians in May of 2023. And now on to our final topic. This is our review of Episode 6 of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. This episode is outstanding. I've been a fan of the original Mighty Ducks movies, so this episode has a lot of nostalgia for me. I'm sure many viewers also. But what it does have is overwhelming amounts of heart. Like every episode before it, the Mighty Ducks Episode 6 follows some classic tropes. Evan is being tempted back to the Mighty Ducks, and he's strongly considering it. The Don't Bothers have no chance of making it to the States after all, and Coach T is pretty much convincing. But where the episode departs from typical expectations of such a dilemma is that Evan's mom never once tries to convince him of anything, except to do what he believes is right. It's nothing grand, but allows Evan to make his own choices, good or bad. This episode also marks a really important piece of growth for Gordon. He has a run-in with Fulton Reed, one of the original Ducks, which eventually leads to a whole reunion. Only it's not as sweet as one might hope. There's a lot of tension, and at first, I was frustrated that none of the old team members picked up on the fact that maybe they needed to be there for Gordon, what Gordon was once for them. But then I realized that, honestly, if I hadn't heard from somebody I once looked up to and who knows how long, and this was how I was treated, I'd be upset too. So much excitement to get to see him, only to be so sharply disappointed. Fortunately, the unpleasant encounter makes the episode's conclusion that much sweeter. It was an emotional high point for the season, well, until the final moments anyway. My love for this episode comes from the way that ultimately the adults all serve as strong role models for the Don't Bothers. I don't want to spoil what happens, but I found myself laughing at the jokes I probably didn't even get, and just generally impressed by the way new and old viewers were clearly both kept in mind when writing this reunion episode. All of the kids also get lines this time, even if most of them were just jokes. I don't honestly think a single one was a dud. The Mighty Ducks Episode 6 is the highlight of the season so far, perfectly integrating the original cast without ever alienating me or alienating any of the new cast. The emotional points are high, and the tropes continue to find themselves subverted in meaningful ways. You can catch new episodes of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers every Friday on Disney+. And that's all we have for this episode of the Cinema Gold Show. Let us know your thoughts on the topics we covered. You can send us a tweet at Cinema Gold Show. Like us on Facebook. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And we'll see you tomorrow.